Discretion is advised.
Happy Monday. You are listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 158. We are in patch 7.2. Tonight we are going to be talking about a lot of rando news and what's going on in the World of Warcraft universe. They have a new PvP brawl out this week you're going to want to check out. We have the developer Q&A highlights, that and much, much more. So make sure you guys stay right here.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there is a group that defies convention. A group that stands in the face of trolls and doesn't flinch. A group that strives on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve. A group that eats tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you. She can start a revolt with a Chaos Bolt, Bell, the PWNCAST Vanguard. Snap back and get faster for the pet battle Grandmaster, Gemma Banks. He's sharp as a dagger with that dapper swagger, Secret Sauce. With holy might as strong as his ancient knowledge, Remedies, the Argent Loremaster. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are PWNCAST.
So, since it's just these two other fine gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and unmute relatively quickly. I'm sure you guys have noticed that we are missing Secret. Apparently has something better to do, which is called sleep, because they changed his schedule.
You mean a nap?
Yeah, his naps are normally 12 hours. That's how his naps roll. So we are going to be down Secret this week and next week. Right? Did you say next week?
Yep.
I feel like he said next week. So we are going to be down him next week, and it's just going to be up to these two fine gentlemen to entertain you.
Yeah.
And I meant me and Rem.
Rem and I.
I guess it would be Rem and I. Would it be? Is that the correct usage?
I reminisce. I don't know.
That's what one of your two names should be. Reminisce. I guess that's too clever.
How could you fit remedies and...
No, that's too much of a word. It has to just be rem mixed with something else.
Well, I did bring the Riders of Rohan with me, and I did bring the monk who got his companion app working. You struggled with that for like several-ish months, right?
I think I just didn't put much effort into. I don't know if it was a bad Wi-Fi connection.
You know.
I think I don't know. Anyways, I'm getting lots of AP. Like I felt like you said last week when you didn't have time to play as much, you did a lot of missions.
Wait, you only just downloaded it?
No, I had it before, but then I didn't use it that much, and then when I tried to use it again when I got a new phone, it wasn't working on the new phone. I upgraded to the 7. Android, Samsung, F and iPhone.
We about that iPhone life. Well, I'm about that
you
iPhone
are.
life. You're good to keep going, Rem.
Well, I got the...
Lower, baby.
Nobody cares what's on your floor. If you have crusty Cheetos in the corner that you haven't cleaned up.
No, it's just a package of water. It's just sitting there.
Nobody cares. People might want to stare at your water, okay? It's going to be all right. I did also bring the paladin who's feeling the work burn, so to speak, who got home just several minutes before we started recording, but he had enough time to do his hair.
No, that's not even done. It's just I wet it and throw it back. No, it was 13-hour shit show, pretty much, long story short.
The life of a bug man, I guess, would be... You guys look very dapper.
Me?
Yeah,
I feel like I need a tan. I'm looking pale.
Yeah, but you shaved, which to me, that matters.
You know what's so funny? I know you matter, and you all do these casual jabs near the end of a show to hint yo, you should shave.
And it's really funny because I do admire a good beard, but only on certain people. So if I didn't meet you already with a full beard and you try to grow one later, I'm never gonna like it because that's just not me.
It's true. I try to do facial hair and it's
Rem
not.
has tried to do facial hair as well, and I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna need you to not.
One, I don't have the genes, and two, work doesn't allow it. So.
Work doesn't allow it because of the respirator. So, guys.
Yeah.
It's Children's Week this week. From today until May 8th, go take your child and eat in front of it. Take it in Battlegrounds and make it do your bidding, it's that time of year where you get to abuse your orphan, and it's totally fine because Blizzard condones the abuse of children. So
I knew you were gonna say that when I read the show notes. I'm like, oh, she's gonna do it.
I still remember me having to do this because Children's Week is needed for your What a Long Strange Trip to get your Violet Proto Drake, and I remember thinking, Blizzard is just terrible for making you do this with your orphan. It's just bad. It's bad all the way around. But go do it.
Is there any good lessons in the quest line other than just eating? Like, do we actually? It's been so long since I've ran through a lot.
You eat in front of them, and which is kind of mean, and then you have
Bring
to
them
take
into a battleground.
You have to take them into battleground, and there's actually a couple that you have to do, but it's kind of mean that you have to go find all this food and eat these things in front of them, and it's really
slaughter the other faction.
You're just enjoying the eating with them. It's not like watch me eat.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
No, you
while
don't.
I eat it, so you can just watch me.
Yeah,
enjoy
but
it.
they're starving orphans, and you have to eat in front of them, and then you take them into battle. It's a terrible thing. Don't take parenting tips from Blizzard.
Teaching them life lessons. Like, you're not going to get what you want. If you have to fight, you're going to die, more than likely.
The Battleground bonus event begins May 2nd through May 8th, so by the time most of you watch or listen, go get your quest for the Battlegrounds. I think it's 5, maybe, question mark. I think you need to have
for
5
the
wins.
Bonus thing?
Yeah, don't you have to have 5 wins?
No,
10 wins?
it's the 3
3.
participation awards, pretty much.
Yay, for showing up and getting the award for doing absolutely nothing.
It doesn't say wins, it just says do the battle, so.
I thought it was Wynn's last one, and I'm like, oh, I have it complete. So I think
That's a nice surprise.
Yeah.
And then the new PvP brawl this week, which will start by the time most of you listen or watch this, which is going to be the War Song Scramble. Basically, so you can capture your enemy's flag without having your own at your base.
That's interesting.
So
Wait,
instead of 2...
Find out when. So it says, so you can do that, and
you
then
didn't have to attack the other EFC then.
Right,
Yeah, there's
and then
no standoff.
they've also added a few more power-ups to the field of battle to stir things up a bit. To win,
That's
your team will
interesting.
need to be the first to capture 5 flags. So the offset here is you have to have more flag caps, but that could easily be done if one of the sides are
Demon
just
Hunter
running.
or Druid, yeah.
Yeah, basically, just go in with just a caster and all Demon Hunters, and you guys win because. Fuck Demon Hunters. So, and if you're a Demon Hunter and you PvP, don't take this personally, guys, because last year my complaint was rogues. So the rogues should feel good that my complaint is no longer rogues, that it's Demon Hunters.
Burst of speed.
And if you're in tank and PvP, fuck off.
I remember at the start of last expansion, I'm like, why are rogues carrying flags?
Last time I told tanks and PvP to fuck off, we had like 12 people. 12 people comment. That really hurt my feelings. Listen, it hurts my feelings every day. A little part of my soul dies when I see a tank in an arena. So a little piece of me just dies every day. It's really sad.
1 in a battleground is allowed.
So I got this wonderful email. And I'm pretty sure you two fine gentlemen got the same email from Blizzard telling me, Bella's saying, come be a hero and join the WoW Arena Championships, prompting me to sign up. And I laughed. I scrolled right past the email as I was laughing, as I'm like, yeah, apparently you don't know who you're talking to. So right now, the sign up for the North American Qualifier Cup 2, which is the road to BlizzCon ultimately, you're good to sign up until May 8th. So go to the World of Warcraft website and go get that done. Because
you're not signing out?
I'm at the top of the list of not signing up. I would rather be supporting my 2 method teams, because you have Reborn and Awakened, which I have to be Reborn fan first because all my main dudes are on Reborn, and then Smexon like branched off with his own team with Method Awakened, which is cool. You do your thing, Smexon. I'm gonna support you from the bleachers, but I gotta support the dew and the snuts and the bean. That's how I am, guys.
Is Rem applying?
Ha! Oh, I don't have bandwidth for that.
We don't have the bandwidth for any of that. Now, Q&A highlights. I had to cheat and use Wowhead because I don't remember what I was doing. There was something going on that I couldn't watch the Q&A live.
This is the first one you missed?
Yeah, it was the
Pretty sure
first
you
one
were
I missed.
dying.
I'm pretty sure I was dying, actually. I don't remember what day the Q&A was, but I feel like I was dying. More on that later when we talk about our week in WoW, because I didn't have one. So, highlights. Currently, there are no plans to stop the Legion assaults, so those are still going strong. We don't have to worry about that.
We've done 2.
People apparently have been complaining that there's not enough horde in the story. More's on the way, guys. Cry and you shall receive. That was from Ian, so I'm not exactly quoting him when I say cry and you shall receive, but there is more horde coming to the story, which we knew there would.
A little bit.
Well, I think they're pretty good balanced about that. Recruitment for reaching Exalted with Armies of Legion Fall in order to unlock class mounts has been removed. All you need is breaching the tomb. So I think we talked about this coming in the chapter 11 of their gated content release. I'm pretty sure it was week 11. So you have to complete breaching the tomb, which means you have to do all the Legion Fall quests. RIP, because Belle has not done a single Legion Fall quest since she got flying, because I was like, who cares? Well, I guess I have to care again. Breaching the tomb. There's 13 quest lines that you have to complete.
Oh. Yeah, it looks a lot like Insurrection, yeah.
It looks a lot like I want to punch myself in the face. But luckily, I enjoy Broken Shore. It's just not been something that's been my focal point because there's no emissary for it. So I've just been like, who cares? Which I don't think they should have removed getting, Armies of Legion Fall. I think they should just include Legion Fall in
You'll get it
emissaries.
eventually to do all those stuff, yeah.
But it's kind of frustrating that they just keep removing stuff instead of fixing it, which is, I'm not going to rant, guys, because I don't have the energy, but I feel like if they would just take the time to tweak some stuff, they wouldn't have to remove it and make it so easy for people. But God forbid I say that, because then I'm going to have 20 people jumping down my throats because I was being the mean belt. Focus on separate class questing will be lessened in the future patches, but class identity will still be a big theme for this expansion. What the fuck does that mean, Ian?
Say it again.
Focus on separate class questing will be lessened in future patches, but class identity is still a big theme for the expansion. Is that your way of saying you don't know how to answer the question that was asked? Because I like to think I have a pretty smart mind. I don't know what you're trying to say here. I don't know what you mean. Somebody explain that to me, please, because I don't get it. Rem, you know everything.
Where is that answering question?
It's the highlights for the stream. The Q&A.
Are you talking about the legendary?
Focus on separate class questing will be lessened in the future patches, but class identity will still be a big theme for the expansion. What's that mean?
Less questing about your class,
but yet we're still going to maintain our identity. So you're saying I'm still a lock? I could be that orc? Is that? I mean, I don't. I don't get it.
Maybe it's not going to be like an overabundance of the world quest. Did they even unlock the
yeah, but I didn't even know. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I didn't really notice it. To be perfectly honest,
I think they were moving the questing part, but I guess the class identity would be with other means, not questing. Maybe.
Ian, I'm gonna need you to stop hitting the J before you answer these questions, because I feel like he just gave me the runaround and I didn't even ask the question. So Tomb of Sargeras will likely open mid to late June. So I think we could probably count on, I would probably say the second or third week of June, which means it'll be 7.2.5 because Tomb of Sargeras is tied to that, although they haven't, I don't know if they've officially said that.
What's the item level gear that drops?
I don't even know. I haven't even looked, to be perfectly honest with you. But once we get closer to Tomb of Sargeras, we will talk about, when they start having a release schedule, because that content's gated as well. We'll talk about the item levels. For players with all their main spec legendaries, a new system is being added so that if you get an additional legendary drop while in that spec, it will instead drop a legendary for one of your off-specs chosen randomly. If you want to target a particular off-spec for legendaries, you will still need to have your loot spec set to that spec. What the fuck did you just say, Ian? Can somebody else please explain to me? Because I don't understand what I don't understand.
I was going to ask you to repeat it, but I legit finished one of my emissary quests in my off-spec because I want DPS legendaries. I don't know what he said or what.
So if you get another legendary drop while you are in the spec that you want to be in, you'll instead get a legendary drop for one of your off specs chosen randomly. Am I...
Wait, what?
Guys, I know I've been under a lot of medication this week, so and I get that I'm not all connected here, right? But I just need somebody to step through this with me.
Legendary drop all in that spec. Maybe if you have all the legendaries for that spec.
So I guess you could then set
So if you have all the legendaries, and maybe it says, boom, you're getting something for your off spec now.
For players with all their main spec legendaries, a new system is being added. So, Aja.
Well, yeah, 0.3% of the population.
At first, when I read that, I thought they were saying if you got a legendary, you're not getting any more, because that was really going to make me rage. So I'm glad that we got a chance, the three of us, to just really work through this.
So
well,
I thought
it doesn't make sense because he explains it the first part, and then it says if you want to target a particular off spec, you have to change a loot spec, which we already do.
Right, but I think they're saying it'll actually work this time. Because I don't know that selecting... I don't know if you select, like, let's say
It does.
Oh, it does? Oh, well...
It's a problem when people have it on auto, and they switch.
I told you, he needs to stop smoking J's before he does these Q&As, because I don't
like,
understand.
for instance, Ella, a.k.a. Heather, she was on her disc freeze, and she's doing Shadow, and so she got a legendary on her Shadow, because she forgot to change a loot spec.
Was it a good Shadow?
Yes, she got the top 3.
I knew it. He was so mad. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else, but I was so happy to just ask if it was a legendary that he wants so bad on his spec.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was the cloak.
Will class focus continue going forward? Not necessarily in quest content, but it will remain the theme of Legion. That explains
what I was saying, like on the other means, like tier and story and all that, maybe.
I was going to say, it sounded like one of those topics that when we read our viewers' comments tomorrow's, we'll know what it is more
Somebody's
clearly.
Somebody's going to be like, wow, Belle really didn't read those notes.
Clear it up for
Guys,
us.
to be fair, normally I watch these Q&As, so I hear the stuff, and I tried to sit down and watch the Q&A today, but I've been heavily medicated, and the reason I was medicated is so that I could make it through tonight's episode and be okay. Otherwise, it wasn't going to happen. So I am a little bit off my game in the information that you're going to receive this week, but at least we've entertained you with something.
Guessing game.
Here to lead, not to read.
I thought it was going to solve my off-spec legendary problem.
Heirloom upgrading to 110 is planned for 7.2.5.
I'm indifferent about that.
I mean, I don't know that I care.
Oh, I do. That's cool.
I mean, for my stuff that's still like 102 and 103, I mean, it's cool, and I have the goal to upgrade all that. But
I don't want to pay gold for it, though. Yeah.
Is Tomb of Sargeras the last raid of Legion? Nope.
Is it?
No.
No.
We are actively working on another raid. 7.3 is Argus, and there will be raids on Argus.
Raids, plural.
Raids, as in plural.
Because that's...
So we knew that there was more coming. They didn't disclose all of that, which is great. I think sometimes it's good to be surprised.
Well, that should prevent, remember what one of your worst fears was.
My greatest fear is the lag in between expansions and us just being,
complaining about the same raid. So that's good.
Well, I mean, just because they say there's going to be a raid doesn't mean it's going to be like a full-fledged raid. It could be Onyxia, or it could be the Obsidian Sanctum or something.
Why would you say that? We don't need your negativity.
What I'm saying is it's not going to be like a full-fledged raid. It could be... Like the last raid on Wrath of the Lich King was Halion. So.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't that Ruby Sanctum?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ruby Sanctum.
Yeah.
I dropped really nice boots from my Death Knight when
I was done raiding after Lich King. I forgot about Ruby.
The Paragon chests are a bit underwhelming. Because I've gotten like 12 Paragon chests since the new patch, and it's all gold. 702 gold to be precise.
That's actually not that bad. That's 1,000 gold for each of those.
For the work I've been putting in to get these damn Paragons, I really want the carpet from the Nighthold.
You don't want the bling bling?
No, Rem wants the Warden costume really bad. Yeah, I think one of our friends got it, and his response was, fuck you.
Why don't you be happy for people?
Because we like to be bitter, Jim.
But I'm so bitter. I'm bittersweet about it.
No, we're not. There's no sweet there, Rem. Don't lie to people.
No, look, it's all three. You're the extreme. He's kind of in the middle. I'm just too nice, right?
It's true. Well, he's in the middle to the public, but behind closed doors, ladies and gentlemen, he is like super extreme.
But he'll talk some sense into you sometimes.
He's like Hulk Hogan, okay?
No, he's not. In what way?
Okay, so will Horde get a new story update? Yes, we wanted Varian's story to wrap up. We didn't want the Horde story shoehorned in. Too predictable. Horde story is coming.
Remembering,
guys, basically this Q&A, not a whole lot of fun and information happening, so I'm really glad. The only thing I was sad about is I didn't get to do my Faces of Lore Volume 4. And I'm sure he was like, wow, maybe she's gotten sick of my face and didn't. I need to tweet to him and just be like, don't worry, Lore, I still love you. My face was swollen, so.
You were literally sick and dying, so.
Why didn't you delegate?
I know, I should have had my husband grab all the faces.
No, I'm glad you didn't delegate.
Well, he likes to help me. Sometimes he'll grab, like, we'll both go for the same, like, I'll tell him, okay, watch for when Lore does this, and sometimes he'll get it before I do. We like to get Lore doing the thing with his hair, because I can always do really funny commentary when he's, like, flipping his hair.
I picture, way to go, hiding and you high five.
Yeah, there's just certain things that we like to do.
Good.
My name's Ricky Bobby, and I like to go fast. So
you're on fire.
If you don't chew Big Red, fuck you.
You're right. So that was all we had for the news. There wasn't a whole lot going on. Now, whenever it's super quiet in the real WoW, that means that they're working on patch stuff. So I don't really get, that doesn't bother me when they have a bunch of hot fixes to the Nighthold coming out. You guys will have to go to World of Warcraft's page to read those hot fixes. And they got some PvP class tuning also for the May 1st hot fixes. So make sure you go check that out. There's like some nerfage happening. I think on a mythic level for Nighthold. Elisan, Gul'dan, all those things.
By the way, you missed a small bit about the class mounts.
What about it?
Get her. Tell her. Tell them.
So, the achievement to unlock the class mount is not account wide, so maybe you have to do all the questing on each character because they remove the rep requirement, but you still have to do all the.
I'm pretty sure breaching the tomb. I'm pretty sure we knew that because I don't remember the reason we knew that. I think we talked about it before. Because the mount is class specific. Anything that's class specific, the achievement for it's not going to be account wide. I think we
yes and no if the achievement itself is
but I'm pretty sure they stated that before, and I think you corrected me before.
I don't know.
See, you were right and didn't even know it, Rem.
Does that make them wrong?
It's a lot.
But I'm pretty sure we had I want to say that maybe Jim asked the question. We had talked about it, and you were like, blah blah blah, no, because blah blah blah.
Thank you for that, Rem.
Yeah,
just like
Rem, you're just too good to be true.
No, it's just like the special
Olympics
battleground.
No,
there's 3.
Not right.
And
I
you're
thought you were
saying
going with
5
that.
and all that. So
except I was right, and you might owe me tacos because I was right. Just kidding, guys. I don't want anybody to think I'm being mean to Rem.
You are anyway. That Warsong one sounds fun though. I'm excited to try.
I know. I'm scared because it's an odd business being ally, and we struggle enough on that map with not killing their flag carrier so that we can cap. So
I feel like there'll be melee everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a lot of fuckery to be had. But I'm gonna go and then do it anyway, guys, just because that's how I roll. Yeah. So with that being said and all that fine news, let's talk about what's going on in the pet battle world, Gemma.
Pet battle or pets? Because I want to talk hunter pets. Not the same thing, really. I kind of have enough time a little bit for an alt, and my main used to be a hunter, so I'm excited to pick a main spec to put all my artifact power in. And I wanted to kind of see if any of the current hunters listening could give any advice as far as what they've played this expansion and what they like. So BM, marksman, survival, what you've enjoyed. And there's just so many cool new pets coming and that have already been brought in Legion. So I'm excited to tame some of those pets from my hunter collection. I know that's not companion pet related, but we'll move to that since you're listening now and it's Children's Week. We discussed this last year, the companion pets. Some of you weren't here last year. Some of you didn't do any of the things I suggested last year. So I've got some suggestions. If you're a collector, you really only have a chance to get 1 or 2, I believe. So if you're trying to collect them all, you can either look in the auction house, but in all of those quests for the weekly event, Children's Week, there's different companion pets for different zones, like Azeroth and Outland and Northrend. So just a heads up, the 2 that you can get in Northrend, you can't unlearn, cage, or sell. So those might be 2 good ones you might want to get this year if you're going to try to knock off some of them. I'll write all the names in the comments because, again, it's one of those list type of segments. So the Curious Oracle Hatchling and the Curious Wolvar Pup are the 2 from Northrend. And the Curious Wolvar Pup is probably the best at pet battles out of all of them that I'm going to announce or list or whatever, right? So those 2 specifically, you can't unlearn, so get them. The other ones, there's 4 from Azeroth and 4 from Outland. You can unlearn, but you can only get 1 a year, right? So if you don't care about any of that and you don't want to collect and you're just trying to make a little bit of gold and you're going to do the quest anyway, get legs from the Outland rewards. So I mentioned there's 4 companion pets. Legs is a magical, ugly companion pet that nobody wants, and that's probably why it's worth more, because people are probably just adding it for the last one in their collection. So the 4 that I'm going to name are from Outland, and I think you get some of the quests to complete it in Shattrath and Outland. Egbert, Peanut, Willy, and Legs. Again, Legs is worth the most gold. And then in Azeroth, there's Mr. Wiggles, Speedy, Whiskers the Rat, and Scooter the Snail. So,
really quick, does the Wiggles pet come with a big red car?
Does not. I don't get the reference. I hope
Mr. Wiggles. It's a. Never mind.
I was worried about saying Willy and then Legs and you guys being pervs, but way to keep it together, you two. Thanks. So yeah, those are just the list of all.
You just did it yourself, so thank you.
I couldn't resist. I'm a dirty boy. But yeah, all those companion pets you can unlearn. Excuse me, the ones, the 4 from Azeroth and the 4 from Outland, you can unlearn and sell, so they're in the auction house. So get them all you can. You might be going for that strange long achievement. What is it called again, Belle? The Violet Proto-Drake.
What a long, strange trip.
Thank you so much. So that's what I have for just companion pets. And it's not a lot. I know we're burnt out. There's no new information about the pet battle dungeons, which we went over last week. If you weren't here last week, there's 2 of them. Of course, one for the Dead Mines in Nomergan. Nomergan?
No, second one, yeah.
Thank you. And of course, we'll keep you posted, but it's good to see, again, new content by Blizzard in the upcoming patches.
But what is Nomergan?
That's a pet battle dungeon now. There's a mechanical pet in that area. People, like when pet battles were new, players would create a gnome if they didn't already have a gnome or go to that starting area. And the Fluxfire Feline was this mechanical kitty, and it just like one-shot pets in PvP pet battles. They had to nerf it. It's kind of funny.
We always got to nerf the fun.
Right. But they have pets with similar abilities these days, so I feel like they should just give that move back to the Fluxfire Feline, so that'd be nice.
Wait, did they completely nerf it by removing it, or they nerfed the amount of damage?
They completely took the ability away. It was a charge ability where you would charge it 1 round and then do the move that increases your damage by 150%, and then you'd use that original charge move to do a lot of damage. Same move set that the Iron Starlet has now, and actually hits harder. So I'm petitioning right now for Blizzard to change that, but they won't.
That sounds like a really awkward sexual encounter.
See? You impressed me, Belle. Way to go. I knew you couldn't get through one segment without a... You didn't even bite on the easy stuff like Willy and Legs. Good job.
I didn't have to. You did that for us. Sometimes in silence comes good things. Good things come in the silence. As my good friend Tina Fey once said in a movie.
I like those girls when they're together. They're funny. Tina and her little buddy.
Oh, Amy Poehler. So that movie Sisters kind of reminds me of me and Ella, where I would be the bad sister and Ella would be the super goody two-shoes.
Oh, yeah.
So whenever I'm watching it, I'm like, that's totally me and her. I'm the corruptive one. She's the nice, sweet one that teaches her dog how to smell diabetes.
Terrible. Shout out to Lycan.
I know. Oh, that was just awful.
No, it's not. He has it. He jokes around about it more than I ever would.
We're
have
optimistic.
libabetes here.
It's libabetes. We're optimistic. Ram, I don't know how you're gonna pass up this pet battle segment here. So, what do you have for us? I see something about story time.
Yeah. So, Maiev and Illidan, little backstory on that. So, how Maiev and Illidan became kind of big head honchos at the moment is, so 10,000 years ago, before all this Tumor Sargeras and all this bad stuff going on, Illidan corrupted the new Will of Eternity at Hyjal with the waters of the old. Well, this one isn't the Well of Eternity. He had the waters from Well of Eternity and corrupted the lake that's in Hyjal. And so he was chained for 10,000 years deep underground, and Maiev was his guardian, was the watcher that kept over his cell. And so you have all the wardens in their little prison holding him down there. And during the third war, when Jaina, Thrall, and the Night Elves team up and defeat Archimonde and the Burning Legion, you have Tyrande actually goes down into the burrows and releases Illidan, and she's actually killing other wardens. That part doesn't make sense because, like, Maiev has disdain for Tyrande, but there is no repercussion for her for actually going up against the wardens, which is pretty much like the military police of the Night Elves. But she breaks Illidan out, and this is where Illidan becomes corrupted, not only corrupted, but he absorbs Skull of Gul'dan, and he becomes full-fledged demon mode. And so you have all that going on, and Tyrande and Maiev are in the process of battling each other mentally and physically in terms of everything going on at the time. And Maiev is constantly searching for Illidan, and she pretty much just spits on Tyrande's shoes or something like that, because Tyrande killed her sisters, breaks Illidan, which is, lack of a better word, like the biggest, baddest villain in terms of betraying his people. And so Illidan at the moment of him releasing is actually in league. He's a pawn of Kil'jaeden, which he learns all the stuff about Skull of Gul'dan. And Maiev is constantly searching for him, and she follows him into the Broken Isles, and then eventually into the Tumor Sargeras, which we're going into in mid-June. And so Maiev and her sisters, Nyesha was one of the wardens that was down there, and there's a couple other people that went down there. And so Maiev actually witnessed Illidan absorbing a artifact of Sargeras, where it was the Eye of Sargeras, and it held a lot of power. And so he absorbed it and pretty much caved in the whole tomb around her, and she was able to escape, but the three wardens were left behind. And I talked about them before, where it was one of the bosses supposed to be for Tumor Sargeras was these three wardens that were incorporeal, and they were stuck in the tomb, which before, during the beta of the raid, it was supposed to be, the name of it was something, I think it's Huntmaster Nyesha, so it was supposed to be the three wardens that were left behind, and then they changed it, and so it was now just three random wardens that were there before the Avatar of Sargeras was even put there, which also doesn't make sense because Eowyn didn't mess with them. But that's something else. So Maiev follows Illidan into Outland when he goes there, and I believe it's Magtheridon that he gets rid of in the Black Temple. And Maiev actually goes and teams up with Akama and all the Broken, and Akama is a Draenei that is pretty much disintegrated into a lesser race. He is a what is called the Broken, and which is the same classification as one of the Shaman Nobundo. And So Maiev is teaming up with him, and that's where we go into Black Temple, and we're sitting there teaming up with Maiev and Akama to take down Illidan. And that takes place right out a little bit after Warcraft 3, where it's a little bit after the Third War. Yeah. And so you have Maiev that's pretty much her main goal in life is to capture Illidan. And Illidan knows this, and so he uses that to his advantage in terms of if she captures him, she has nothing else to live for. Even though she's a warden and she pretty much kicks ass and defends a lot of Night Elves, she's so focused on Illidan that like there's nothing else for her to do if she were to capture him. And so when she captures him in Black Temple, which we thought he was dead, but she ends up taking his essence and encasing it, and she puts it in one of the prisons. And then we have the Gul'dan, well, the alternate reality Gul'dan being sent back by Archimonde, and he breaks out Illidan's little tomb crystal thing, whatever you want to call it. And actually, if you watch the cinematic with at the end of Nighthold, where he's during the fight, you have Gul'dan trying to send Kil'jaeden's essence. No, sorry, Garrus's essence into Illidan to be his new not only avatar, but his kind of embody his body and take it over. And we interrupt that with Dadgar and all that. And so you have Maiev is now reluctantly teaming up with Illidan, which is, when you think about the backstory with them, it doesn't make any sense regardless of what's going on. Like, at least you want to pop him in the face, but she doesn't.
That's because she's a warden. She's showing restraint, but you could tell that she wants to set him on fire.
Oh yeah, but I mean, at least pop him in the face, like at least something.
Well, when I do that to you, people defend you. So I guess maybe it's not that easy for her. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
But I agree. It's got to be really difficult to be dealing with your enemy of sorts, right? Like,
well, I mean, it's a very thin line of my enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, because I mean, you have Sargeras and Kil'jaeden.
What's that now?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and you have Sargeras and Kil'jaeden.
That makes sense.
So, which I mean, in turn, Illidan isn't really the enemy. He's just so selfish. He doesn't give a fuck, pretty much. Well, as long as he's gaining power, he's all good.
Isn't he the enemy, though? Is that...
No.
Didn't he kill people for his... I mean, however we romanticized it, right?
With the Moon Guard and all that, yes. I mean, you could see that as being evil-ish, but I mean, it was his downfall. His rise is a lot like Sargeras, where he knows the enemies that we're going up against, and he's willing to sacrifice and he's willing to sacrifice and give his life and everyone else's life for the betterment of the Night Elves. And the other Night Elves, like, they want to prolong their race, obviously, but they're not willing to do what's required of them.
Dang.
Yeah.
The only sacrifice Maiev has done is not fucking punch Illidan in the face.
That is valid, actually. Well, I mean, I feel like I don't even.
Well, based on what you guys have heard and what you know, what do you think of Illidan and Maiev?
I like their back and forth, and I like that she shows extreme restraint. Like, you could tell that she just wants to, like, but doesn't, you know?
That's like
Mm-hmm.
you, kinda.
It's like they're the nip and tuck. Fuck my life. I'm trying really hard here, guys. It's
You're
just
doing
not.
great.
It's just not.
We believe in you, Belle.
I like the at odds because you know that they're at odds, and I like the way that looks. So I like that you could kind of tell in the little back and forth when you're dealing with both of them. I think that it's an interesting dynamic for what you said, the friend of my enemy is my friend's brother's sister, whatever bullshit you said.
Roommates, cousins.
Yeah, it made sense to me.
Goldfish, yeah.
But I don't know that I could be Maiev in that instance. I don't know that I could not stab him or, do some weird warden stuff to him, because when I hate, I hate. Like, I really hate. So I personally would like to see them fight. Like, I'd like to see her just get sick of his shit, and there'll be like this awkward scene in the middle of the content where they just have at it. But I know she's not going to let him walk after this. There's no way. Doesn't matter how much he redeems himself. I don't think that there's any way she could put it aside, to be honest.
Well, obviously, but I also think something's going to happen with Illidan where it's going to be something where we can't even go up against him to take him down, where Maiev couldn't take him down because he's going to find power somewhere.
Well, and that brings a good point. What is he going to gain from this?
Well, the thing with Illidan, he wants the best for his race, but he's also going to look out for his own in terms of he wants the power.
Let's remember the Black Temple, okay? We've all been to that room with all them girls and all them drugs and all them alcohols and the pillows in the bed and the scantily clad night elves.
So,
we know what he really wants. I'm not saying that that's his end game, but I mean, he is a man after all, guys. This isn't an insult. If you're a boy and you're feeling like I just, threw shade in your direction, I absolutely did, but just own it. You don't have to be offended.
He still loves Tyrande.
That ship has sailed, because that's now Malfurion's broad, and I'm going to need you to just get over it. She ain't even that cute, though, in truth, for them to be fighting over her. Like, I expected something more glorious.
Okay.
Before anybody comments, I'm not Tyrande shaming, so let's not get crazy. She's a kind of a, I don't know. She's, like, real solid, whereas Malfurion seems a little too codependent. Like, he might need to go to relationship therapy because he's super, like, dependent.
Well, I mean, when you look at Tyrande's, like, whole personality and the way she's done stuff in the past, like, very much so.
She's pretty much dominant.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That's a whole Night Elf race. It's not matriarchy. Matriarchy is the females, yeah? Yeah, matriarchy.
I don't know. I don't know how to be a real girl, Rem.
Because patriarchy is when the males are the dominant race.
You are backing up the wrong tree if you're looking for any kind of feminine advice whatsoever. So.
No, but when Night Elf society, females are looked at as the superiors.
I can't even help you do your makeup, okay?
It's not even about the makeup. Night Elves are similar to Amazons in terms of the females being superior, so...
Speaking of that, I am going to be doing a YouTube channel for makeup tutorials. That's not my...
Really?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
how to cover swollen face.
Ah! I keep trying not to look that way so the viewers at home don't see. But since it's my segment, I'm going to talk a little bit about... Not that. We'll
Timmy,
talk about that
where's Timmy?
We're not going to talk about Timmy in our Week and Wow. But, okay, so for my segment, I don't have anything. However, you can't be mad at me. I'm going to tell you why. 1, I almost died this weekend. 2, I got off the phone with Frieza today, and he is maxed out. Him and I are going to be doing things. And in that doing things, it's... Frieza's been wanting to kind of come back and talk on the show, but the day he works, it's not really going to work out. However... There might be something in the works for me and Fryza PvP related for the YouTube channel. I don't know to the lengths of which me and Fryza are going to be able to make it happen, but I am going to be doing some PvP with Fryza because he is back into WoW and he's loving every second of Legion, and I want to hear his reaction to the PvP thing. So this weekend, probably get a group of us together and go do stuff in game. To kind of, now I have to acclimate him to my friends and do all that, and he's gotta hear Remedy's rage, and you know, they ought to get along just fine because they both rage equally. But I don't know what that means just yet, but I know that me and Fryza are gonna have a PvP thing, since that was what him and I were both known for pre-change to all the stuff with that. So be looking for that on the YouTube channel. I don't know what that's going to entail just yet. I have to work around his schedule, but I do know that things are coming, and that is going to include video and some other stuff. So that's pretty exciting, and that'll also probably be the bulk of where my Bell's Bites come from, will be for my PvP throughout the week with both Rem and I'm sure Jimma and Fryza too. So although we cannot have Fryza back in an official capacity until his work thing changes, because I can't do the show on the weekends as much as I would like to. I made a promise to the husband. But this doesn't mean that we can't work towards that in the future, and at least he can be involved in some capacity with him and I to be able to do stuff. And I'm sure those of you at home that love Fryza are really excited to hear that we will have him back in some capacity, even if it's not the official show every Monday.
Instead of Friday, it's going to be Fryza Day.
Yeah, I as much as I would love to, we can't change the show to the weekend. I made a promise that I just can't do that as much as I would love to, because it would solve our problem. But
I don't know. Jimmy Banks got it moved one day before.
Did you watch the interview where I told Fryza what you did?
No, I didn't.
He said no, he would not.
I was like, yeah, I wasn't missing the show.
So, but I did not have a Bell's Bites segment because I didn't actually game this week. I did stuff from my phone, and I logged in to make sure that nobody was dying. I logged in remotely to the guild chat to stalk people. But more about my death story in my week in WoW. Jimma, I know you had a week in WoW, dude, because I seen you on when I was on remote chat. I was like, wow, he's even gaming more than me now.
Well, it's about time, right? And my other last 2 weeks in WoWs were much more exciting. It feels like I was rewarded more for my time, but you know, I'm getting ready. I got a horde hat in the mail, so it's going to be here soon. So I had to hop on my hunter and get in hunter mode. So playing my orc hunter, mostly just today, actually, just to get I needed some order resources. I want to keep the research going, right? Obviously. And, you know, I don't have a lot of time for alts, but I definitely want to make time for my hunter a little bit. And that's also why I was just curious on what people were enjoying on their hunter specs. This expansion specifically, I'm probably going to go with marksman, regardless of what anyone really says. And it was funny when you were talking about the legendary thing today. I was like, yes, a resolution for my concern, right? My concern was I kind of want some DPS legendaries on my monk. Not that I'm going to go full blown raid mode on my Windwalker, but I want to be able to kill things, and I'm interested. I haven't looked up any of the legendaries, but so hopefully some good luck coming up in the next couple weeks. And I did some PvP with a healer friend from the guild. It was kind of silly to do double healer, and it was just random battlegrounds, but it's a lot of fun. So just keep trying to prestige slowly in PvP as well to get the artifact appearance and maybe a couple of the mounts. So just some nothing really that exciting, just some world quests and just trying to progress with the characters.
Good idea.
By the way, speaking of the hunters, like, it's not really ideal, but I really like survival still. I've been doing marksman as leveling just because it's easy peasy, but
yeah,
I like survival.
I really like marksman's play. I really just enjoy.
That's why
I enjoy the gameplay.
But when survival in previous expansions, where it was like the better DPS for raids and you could easily switch, I was still hesitant because I was just like, I like marksman.
I like the rotation, not rotation, priority.
I agree.
What?
Before, it wasn't easily switched. Hello? Survival.
He meant before you dump all your money into one artifact weapon.
Yeah,
and you
before
could
Legion,
swap.
excuse me.
I was like,
Legion, when you're like, hey, can you go, you know, for hey, can you go heals or DPS? And you're like, well, I've got
now you sink all your money into your jackpot.
Yeah.
basically.
Before it was survival until you get 200 arm pen, and then you go marks.
Ooh, I remember that.
I don't know any of that.
Remember resilience and PvP?
Mm-hmm.
I made a PvP rap in the one
Arm
run.
pen used to be really, really, really fun.
That was Lich King days, right?
Yeah, it was. They removed it after Wrath. Yeah, so I did.
Rem, I'm most excited for your week in WoW because I didn't game with you, so I actually don't know what you did this week in World of Warcraft.
I didn't do much in Warcraft, honestly. I did a lot of Broken Shore, and that's about it. I worked 6 days out of the week, and all of those days were like full days.
Basically, he
So-
took advantage of me not bitching that he wasn't gaming and was like,
He's-
well, she's not on, then that
No,
means I get a break.
I wanted the game, but I was done last week. I was working way too much, and then today.
I gave you an out. You should have just taken it.
I on my free time, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I did a little bit of Heroes of the Storm.
Oh yeah, some guy.
Oh,
told
yeah,
me
well, they got a new
today.
hero, Genji.
We
right?
should have talked about that. No,
The
forget
two-
the new hero. I heard they rearranged the whole game.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fun.
And you
We
get
should talk
20
about
free
that on our
heroes?
Heroes of the Storm podcast.
Next week.
Never week.
Blizzard related, okay?
There's a lot of things that have changed in Heroes of the Storm. If you follow Heroes of the Storm, I encourage you to go check it out. But
Yeah.
definitely we'll talk about that on our Heroes of the Storm podcast.
Oh, so that's tomorrow, right?
Yes, it's tomorrow in 2020. So whatever
Well,
date.
3 years.
Can we get away with it next week if we just talk about the Warcraft characters in it?
Yes, maybe actually
Really?
that might be a
Yeah,
way to. I mean,
Troll you a little bit.
I don't think they have any new World of Warcraft characters, but
We'll just reminisce about the
Heroes
old
of the
ones.
Storm 2.0. Go check it out.
Did you do anything in WoW, Bal? Did you get any?
No, I did. So
Companion app, yeah.
I did
Yeah.
my companion app, and boy, let me tell you how efficient. I logged into 2 full traits from getting all my
Nice.
AP this week. That's how much.
You inspired
I
me to
did.
get on it.
Yeah, I did too. I got 2 full traits, which is no small feat because my traits are like 90 million to be able to unlock one. So I got a ton of
Damn.
artifact power.
That was
So
insane.
I'm going to tell you guys the story of Timmy. So I've tried to hide Timmy from you guys, which Timmy is a lot smaller than what he was yesterday. And even the day that things went bad for me medically, Rem got the particular pleasure of seeing Timmy in all his glory.
Okay.
So Thursday, I have impacted wisdom teeth. For those of you that have ever had impacted wisdom teeth, guys, it's a bad time. So
Very
because my one here on this side of my mouth is impacted, it's halfway through, which means there's a pocket of gum above it. So occasionally, like once or twice a year, food will get stuck back in there and it'll get infected. If you have impacted teeth, you know how I feel. So I started taking penicillin because I know the drill. My dentist isn't going to deal with it until there's no infection. So I start taking penicillin. I feel like the infection's going away. Boy, was I mistaken. Saturday comes around and something's happening to my throat. And I don't know if you guys can see, which it looks like it's pretty visible right here. This right here is still swollen. It was actually swollen so bad that I had 2 chins. It dropped all the way down, like to this far. Okay, imagine a second chin that
poor
dropped. I
girl.
mean, it was huge. I looked like I had a fat suit on, right? It looked like I looked like Nutty Professor, okay? So I can't swallow, I can't drink, I can't eat. I had been, even since Thursday, I had been eating soup because it hurt to chew. So I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, something is not normal. So I put myself to sleep I can't deal with the pain. I wake up Sunday, something is not right because it's even doubled in size. Like, and I can't even swallow to drink at this point, and I feel like I'm dying. So my husband takes me to the hospital. He's freaked out. So he gets to the hospital, and they not only hook me up to 1 IV, they hook me up to 2. So I have an IV right here on my hand, and I have an IV right here. I'm severely dehydrated because I couldn't swallow anything. So my blood sugar, because I hadn't eaten anything outside of the soup that I attempted to eat, which it was really bad for me. So I'm all kinds of messed up in my body because I couldn't do that. So they make me do a CAT scan, and they have to put this weird stuff into my other IV for them to see stuff on the CAT scan, and they make me do all this weird stuff. So he comes in and he says, so he gives me this explanation of you have salivatory glands, which is saliva glands that you have in your throat. So what happened is when the infection started to drain from my wisdom tooth, it drained into my glands and caused a blockage. So the blockage meaning I would not produce saliva and didn't even notice because I couldn't swallow even if I wanted to. So he's like, he waits. They're still waiting for the CAT scan results at this point. Then he mentioned something about we might have to get a scalpel and drain. So me and my husband are freaking out because I'm like, this is just, this can't happen.
From worst to worst.
Comes back and he says, good news. There's nothing to drain. They're inflamed and they're engorged, and we're going to give you all these steroids, and we're going to stick all this crap in your IV that's going to make your skin burn. We're going to do all this weird shit to you. And I'm like, at this point, I have 2 needles in me. I don't even care. Just do whatever it takes to make me feel better and make it where I could swallow. So today is the first day that I could actually swallow. And by the time I tried to eat dinner, and it's still in my mouth, like this whole region still really hurts. It hurts to cough. Like, look at this guy. So we call this guy's Timmy. This is the bulk of where the one gland. This gland was not infected, but inflamed a tiny bit. But guys, if you would have seen me yesterday, you would have been quite amused. For those of you listening on iTunes, I encourage you to pop over to the YouTube channel when I show off Timmy. See, my cheek's not supposed to be like this. Like this.
Did you take pictures of it really inflamed?
Yeah, I have tons of them.
You should have did it like a segment where you did the overlay of the picture of your yesterday gland.
I should have started off the show with the real big.
Yeah.
And just slowly ended it. So
I'm glad you're better.
I could not, and I was really upset because I wanted Friday so bad because I just wanted to just game and do things, and it was just, guys, it has been an awful couple of months, and I tell you what, nothing is going to make me feel better like going to BlizzCon and going to DitchCon. What a great segue to ask people for money. Listen, guys, we just made it over 5,000. We have 3,000 more to go before this funds. If we do not fund, we don't have a party. If we don't fund all of it, we don't get any of it, which means there's no party. Like, we're burnt.
That's crazy.
I need you guys to go to the Kickstarter. It's linked down here in the description. It'll pop up somewhere over here on the right-hand side region. I need you guys to back the Kickstarter. If you're not going, back the Kickstarter. If you're out of country and can't get a reward, back it anyway with no reward because you love us, right? There's plenty of things you could do to show your support. If it's $5 or $10, that's still as good as 300. It's not as good as 300, but I don't love you any less. So if you've got a few bucks to throw at the Kickstarter, whether you're in country or not in country, you're not really doing it for the rewards, guys, because the rewards, like, you're not getting $300 worth of stuff when you're backing the $300 tier. So you're doing it for the support of us. But I've had a few people say, well, I wish you did it out of country because then I would back. I love you guys. You should back anyway. If you plan on doing it, you should back reward or not because you want to support us. So I did try to be able to ship to UK. Guys, it's like $90 American to ship to UK. And that's the cheap, not even...
Yeah, that's like the basic.
That's not even including the posters that have to be sent
it's
because
crazy.
the posters have to be sent in a different mailer. You guys would be paying at least $100 in just shipping plus whatever exchange rate. That's the reason we can't ship to UK. You guys would, at the end of the day, end up paying a lot more money than what you should, and I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. I did adjust it where if you're not going to BlizzCon, I will ship to Canada for the 300 and 100 backer. But anything below that's not worth it for the exchange rate for you guys. So,
you
but
just
it
have
did change
to tell
it.
her your postal code.
But guys,
The
I don't
postal code.
ask for very much very often. But I need you guys to back the Kickstarter. If you can't find the link, go to Kickstarter.com and just search DitchCon or PWNCAST, and you will find it. But we have 40 days now to be able to reach our goal, to be able to get that. So if you don't have any money, that's totally okay. You could just pledge your undying love and support and send nudes to Remedies because he really likes nudes.
He does.
But
Yeah.
Jimma only likes male nudes. So Rem will take female or male, but Jimma likes only male nudes. So
Don't get off track, Bell. If anyone just donates $5, just
If you-
100 of you listening donate
if you
$5.
don't,
I'll get us-
literally, if there's 100 of you listening that donate $5, I don't know how much money that is, but I'm sure it's enough.
It won't get us to gold, but it will
500.
encourage maybe us to just be that much closer.
But he's absolutely right. We get approximately 5,000 listeners per episode. That's averaging the highs and the lows on iTunes. That's not counting Stitcher. That's not counting Podbean. That's not counting Google Play.
If you all
One dinero.
Like, if you guys all backed for each of you threw in $10, we would not need anything from anybody ever. So this is my plea, guys. I don't like begging. Listen, I messaged 67 people on Facebook today and said, if you're my friend, I need you to back this because I'm starting to get stressed out that the party's not going to be backed and I have to disappoint all these people. So if you can't back, it's really okay, guys. This is more for the people that have the couple bucks to throw at it. If you do have, to get the cool rewards, I've been updating on our artist statuses. He's completed Gul'dan. He's refining Kill Jaden a little bit, and then we'll get that evil scene stage with the saying, and then he'll start on the good scene, which is going to be Maiev and Illidan. So if you have the means to be able to get the rewards, guys, I fully encourage it. Like I said, I opened up the legendary and epic backer to Canada. But if you're UK or something like that, I'd really love to be able to send it to you guys, but you guys would be paying out the yin yang for shipping, and I would not feel comfortable doing that. So I love you. If you love us, back us anyway, because,
we need your money.
I need money, guys. Okay, enough of that. My parents always told me not to beg.
Well, you did so many things for so many years for free, and you still are. We all do this for free, and it's.
Well, I don't see the money doesn't go to me as much as I would love to have. $8,000 in tacos. It does not. So.
I could even imagine.
Well, last year I undershot the budget and didn't realize what it took to throw a party and ended up having to throw my own money at it. That's the reason that the Kickstarter's a little bit higher this year than it was last year, because tough lessons learned from Belle trying to do budget. So, guys, I know the show is not as long as it normally is, and I know that there wasn't a lot of information. I was definitely, between the kids bringing home sicknesses and Timmy really causing a problem, how I'm not dead, I don't know, but
it's a little bit of an off week.
We almost went for 2 hours though.
Yeah, it's been really tough, but I'm excited because we'll be down. I might think about bringing on a guest next week to fill in the spot of Secret.
Tell Fries to call in sick.
I know. When he talked to me earlier, I was like, please tell me you're not working today, because I'd love for you to be on. And he said no, but I'm going to try to see if maybe he'll take his computer to work.
Maybe he can grow Timmy too.
Maybe he could take a lunch or something.
Why don't you just get a webcam for Timmy?
I'm hoping Timmy will be gone by tomorrow. I gotta go. When we get done, I gotta medicate some more and take some steroids.
Timmy.
I'm assured that the doctor told me that the steroids isn't going to make my penis smaller, so I'm excited about that. That's
good. That's usually key.
Apparently, it's not that kind of steroid. I did ask, is this going to make...
You're going to be jacked after.
I just wanted to make... It did make me a little grumpy. I've been a little grumpy, because they kind of alter your mood a little bit, so...
What about Jack Daniel? Oh, all I heard is Jack. Sorry.
Interesting, says the alcoholic in the room.
But we went through all the news. We all gave a segment. I thought it went pretty well. I think we're still undefeated.
Nice. That's pretty nice. And I figured that the news of Frieza would make people excited, just to know that we can get him back in some capacity. I think people really enjoy that. I don't really know what that looks like. I have an idea in my head of what that looks like. It might just be a little spin-off PvP talk with me and him, as a means to just get him gabbing. He's really excited to talk about WoW, so...
well, really as Gilnean say, get gabbing or get going.
Time is money, friend?
Right.
Oh. I thought Jimmo was going to come up with a third one, but he didn't.
I let you guys down.
He did let me down a little bit.
Damn it.
But, guys, I don't know about you, but me and Timmy are...
tired.
Isn't it weird how, this side's totally normal, and then this side is just not? It's like... So I was taking pictures on Snapchat today. I was I'm just going to get the one side.
Why don't you just take a day off?
Give my good side.
Well, you have to Snapchat. I don't think anybody that watches the show follows me on Snapchat, but you're more than welcome. It's Samantha Is It on Snapchat is my
Is what?
That's my Snapchat
Is
username.
it?
My Samantha is
Yeah,
it.
but what is it?
That's the
Is
name. Samantha is my Snapchat. So if you guys want to follow me on Snapchat and see awkward pictures, Snapchat's the only place I don't Snapchat my children. So, like, it's the only place I don't, because people follow me that I don't know. So I don't.
Yeah, all you get is poop selfies and Timmy selfies.
Did I show Timmy? No. Did I? Shite.
I don't know, but I can show it. Just kidding.
That's super awkward. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Yeah, it is Samantha. Is my Snapchat. So
For every nude that you send Remedies,
So
you get
feel
a shot of
free,
Timmy back.
if you guys are Snapchatters, to hit me up on Snapchat. I will for sure make you guys feel awkward. And
Well, I don't know how to use Snapchat.
I have a couple friends that message me and say, I know that you're on the toilet when I get a Snapchat from you. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. My whole life has been documented in either my toilet or a friend's toilet or a public toilet. Or my favorite is to try to Snapchat a picture of myself while hovering, because I never sit on a public toilet. And you could tell that I'm hovering, but I try to make it look like I'm not hovering. Guys, the show took an awkward turn because I need to be medicated.
Yeah.
How do you
Very
not
much so.
follow her at this point?
Timmy is throbbing right now. So, guys, thank you for joining me and being on our team. You two. I'm talking to you two.
Oh,
well,
I thought you were talking
welcome.
about the audience, because
Yeah, I thought
we're
you
all
were-
a team.
They're family. Well, so are you guys, I guess, technically.
Give us your money.
Yeah, seriously. Kickstarter.com. Look up DitchCon or PWNCAST. I need your money, guys. We're $3,000 short, and I am going to have to start offering pee-pee touches, and I don't want to. I mean, I do.
I thought we
Maybe
already
that's
threw
why
that
we didn't get a
out.
lot of extra from the last week. Why don't we go with, hey, everyone, can you please donate $1 and see where that gets us?
$5, though.
$5. That's what we said.
Or
$5.
$10. 5 or 10.
25 is easy.
Why not?
100
50?
is better.
We're
Guys,
terrible.
we're terrible people. We're just
We don't do this
terrible.
for money.
We don't do this.
Well, I've thrown my money at it. At the
I know,
moment,
that's why I
300.
felt bad.
Well,
But
and
I'll be
I
doing-
plan on backing too as a break in case of emergency. I have money that I can back. So
I'll probably be doing more though, just because we need to hit that, bro.
yeah, I'm gonna hit up all the people that I know have more money and be like, I'm gonna need you to give a little extra so that we can make our goal. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize that you had to put up with our bad jokes, and Timmy kind of took over my personality a little bit.
Timmy.
So if I seemed a little off, it's because Timmy was telling me to do bad things. But we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Did I say that right? What'd I say?
That sounded way.
I
That was like.
I'm so tired.
The three of
It
us
was like
go-
it ended right there, but no.
And cut.
But wait, there's more.
The three of us should just start panhandling. I bet you we'll get to goal faster. If the three of us panhandle in our own respected cities, we get closer.
Actually, the people out here that panhandle get shit ton of money.
I'm
Yeah.
just
And
going to
then
keep
they
messaging
walk-
people on Facebook until they give me money. I posted
they-
earlier warning, if you're my friend and you haven't backed the Kickstarter, I'm going to PM all of you. 67 PMs later where I'm like, hi, it's your friend and I need your money.
You know,
My-
panhandle is off the 15 freeway by me. They walk off and go in their nice car, and they get like
My
couple
mom
$100 a
said,
day.
honey, why are you asking for people for money? And I'm like, Mom, it's for the party that we throw. And she goes, do you need my money? No, Mom, I don't need your money.
She needs to back it.
Why'd you let her off the hook?
Because my
Right?
mom is like the mom that whenever I say I want, like if I'll show a t-shirt that I
Oh,
want, the
yeah.
t-shirt arrives in the mail. Like my mom's really good about that kind of stuff. So,
Well, that's good.
and sometimes I'll avoid posting something that I want because I don't want her to buy it because then I feel
Yeah.
guilty. And
I'm
then
still waiting for my pants.
Because he told my mom. What did you tell my mom? Her pants
I
were,
don't even
your
know what-
pants were in
it
her
was-
room, and my
it
mom
was
was
some
like, honey,
post.
can you tell your friend I don't have his pants? I was like, Mom, he knows you don't have his pants.
When moms are confused. it's
So
weird.
I explained it to her on the post, and she goes, now that's awkward. Good times. Okay, we're getting out of here for reals, guys, right? For reals?
For realsies?
If you want.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Nice.
getting outta here.
Oh, that's a pretty good shirt.
I can't do that. I have to. I guess I can.
I can't either. I have to. I can do that one. That's it. But I
Just kidding.
can't.
That made it-
No, something else. Just end it. Oh my god.
We're gonna get out of here. Bye.
I thought it was over.
I might have inadvertently did the scissor thing. I don't know why Rem's so freaked out about that. Look at
That
Timmy.
moment
Timmy
when
wants to
David
talk to you
did
guys
this
now that it's
last
over.
Scissor me timbers.
Isn't that weird how you can see how bad? Look at the difference.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, it's like
But see, yesterday it was both sides.
Yeah.
it was full on like.
I literally look like Nutty Professor. Like I look like that now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I would have
But,
been able to do the show yesterday. I would have had to put like a turtleneck on. My daughter told me to put googly eyes, just to glue some googly eyes. Because I was like, I don't know how to get people.